Hello students, welcome to our channel Learning Notebook. In today's video, we are going to do complete chapter of safety and first aid. We are going to discuss each and every concept related to this topic. So make sure you watch the entire video. But before starting with this chapter, let me tell you that we have made videos on every chapter of Class 4 and Class 5 Science. We also have interesting quizzes on each chapter. You can find all of them on our channel Learning Notebook. Also, you can see a list of all such videos on our website. The link to our website is below in the description box. So let's see what all topics we are going to cover today in this video. First, we will understand what is first aid and what are the situations in our daily life where first aid is required. Then we will learn about safety, safety on roads, safety at home, safety in the playground and safety from fire. So let's start and first understand about first aid. Students, look at these two pictures. These show accidents which can occur anywhere and any time. For example, in the first picture, the boy has slipped over a banana peel. And in the second picture, lady has slipped due to wet floor. We may also encounter such situations, and thus we should be ready to give first aid to the injured person. So let's learn about first aid. First aid is the first medical help given to the injured person before a doctor arrives. So students, it means first aid is the immediate help which is given to the injured person before any professional medical help or the doctor arrives. Now we will study some situations where first aid is required. Situation is cuts and wounds. Next is sprain. Then we have burn and scalds, dehydration, nosebleed, and animal or insect bite. Now let's understand these situations one by one. Students, we often get cut and scratches while playing in the playground or at home. We should not neglect any such wound because germs can enter our body through these cuts and scratches and can cause infection. So let's see what first aid should be given in such a situation. Firstly, clean the area thoroughly by running water over it so that there is no dirt around the wound. Then apply the antiseptic cream on the wound and use band-aids if it is a minor cut, or in case of bleeding, cover the wound with bandage. Now, in case there is heavy bleeding, then a bandage called tourniquet should be tied just above the cut to stop the blood flow. Students, as you can see in this picture, this is the tourniquet. But as we are talking about only the first aid, so this bandage refers to the first aid only. And make sure that in case of heavy bleeding, the patient should be rushed to the nearest hospital immediately. Now, let's see what first aid needs to be given in case of sprain. So, what is a sprain? A sprain can happen while running or playing, and it happens when the tissue around a joint get torn. And sprain can cause swelling and sometimes discoloration of skin. Students, sprain is very painful. So, what can be done in such a scenario? Apply an ice pack over the swollen area. Next, we can apply anti-inflammatory ointment or spray. And what is anti-inflammatory ointment? It is a cream which is used to reduce swelling and redness. And lastly, wrap crepe bandage on the sprained area. Do you know what is crepe bandage? Yes, this is the picture of crepe bandage. So this type of first aid should be given in case of sprain. Now next situation which we can come up in our daily life is burns and scalds. Students, we can get burns from hot things, maybe from fire, steam, boiling water and from crackers as well. So, how to give first aid if someone gets a burn? Firstly, cool the burn by running cold water over the burnt area. Next, make sure to apply an anesthetic cream to soothe the pain. What is anesthetic cream? It is a cream to reduce pain. Then, sometimes after burn, blisters appear. But we need to make sure that we do not touch such blisters. And lastly, we have to cover the wound with loose gauze to protect the affected area. And what is gauze? Yes, it is a white bandage, as you can see in this picture. Now next situation is dehydration. Dehydration mainly occurs in summers when we stay outside in intense heat. Due to dehydration, we feel dizzy and tired. So what first aid can be given to such a dehydrated person? First of all, we should immediately move that person to a covered and shaded place. Next, loosen his tight clothes. After that, we should provide the person some lemonade or juice to replenish the lost liquids. So this kind of first aid should be given to the person suffering from dehydration. Now the last scenario is nosebleed. Usually, children suffer from nosebleed during hot and dry summer. Various steps can be taken in such a scenario. First of all, you can pinch the soft part of the nose and bend the person's head slightly forward as shown here. Secondly, ice pack should be applied on the nose to stop bleeding. And in case there is no ice pack, you can pour cold water on the person's head and nose, which will also help to stop the bleeding. So students, we have learnt about various situations which we can come across in our daily lives and how they can be resolved using first aid. Students, in our daily life, we can come across some animal bite or insect bite. So let's understand what first aid can be given in such situations. First, we are going to understand about insect bite. So when an insect bites us, it leaves its sting there. We must remove this sting to reduce the pain. So to remove this sting, we should use a tweezer as shown in this picture. After removing the sting, make sure to clean the wound and apply some antiseptic cream. And in case there is a swelling, we can rub ice on the affected area. If you still not have subscribed to our channel Learning Notebook, then do subscribe it and make sure to press the bell icon. Now, specifically for wasp sting, students, do you know what is wasp? In common language, wasp is known as tataiya. So, in case of wasp sting, we can apply lemon juice or vinegar to reduce the pain. So, this was about insect bite. Now, let's talk about animal bite. For dog or monkey bite, first of all, wash the area thoroughly with soap and water and then apply antiseptic cream over the affected area. But make sure to take the patient to the doctor for the treatment of rabies. And what is rabies? It is a disease which is caused by dogs or monkeys bite. So after giving the first aid to the patient, we should take him to the doctor for the treatment of rabies. Now let's learn about snake bite. This first picture is showing the snake bite. And students, snake bite is very dangerous. It is fatal if venom or poison reaches the heart. So, first of all, to avoid this situation, a cloth should be tied tightly near the bite, as you can see in the second picture, so that the poison does not spread in the body. And lastly, make sure that you take the affected person to the doctor immediately. So students, this was all about first aid. Now I am sure you have understood what is first aid and how to give first aid to the person in need. Now let's move to our next topic, safety. Students, remember, safety is of utmost importance and we should always prefer safety over anything else. So, we should follow some rules of safety to stay safe. So in this topic, we are going to learn about safety on the roads, safety at home, safety in the playground, and safety from fire. We would like to tell you that we have a separate video on complete chapter of force, work and energy. In this video, you can learn about what is force, effects of force, types of forces. Then you can also learn about what is work and energy and types of energy. You will find the link to this video here on the top and below in the description box. Now let's first learn about rules on safety on the roads. Students, it is very important to cross the road very carefully. That is, before crossing the road, we should check properly that no vehicle is coming from either side. We should also always use zebra crossing. And if there is no zebra crossing, then we have to make sure that there is no traffic coming from either side. Also, do note that we should not cross the road while listening to music. Now, next point to be safe on the roads is that we should always use a foot over bridge or underpass if they are available, because they serve as the safest way to cross the road. Here, this first picture is of foot over bridge and second picture is of underpass or subway. Another important point to note here is that we should always avoid riding the bicycle or bike on the road with heavy traffic, because such roads are meant for fast moving vehicles and it can be very dangerous to ride your bicycle or bike on such roads. So never do that. And lastly, we should never play on the roads as it can cause accidents. So this was all about rules to be followed for being safe on the roads. Now let's learn about how to be safe at home. Students, we spend a lot of time at our home and we feel safest there. But at times, there can be some situations which can turn fatal if we are not careful. So let's learn how to be safe at home. Firstly, always keep your toys, books and other belongings on their proper place. Make sure not to scatter them on the floor, otherwise your family members can slip on them and thus they can hurt themselves. Now next rule is that never play on the stairs and terrace of your house, because falling down from there can cause serious injuries. Like you can see here, these kids are not being careful and they are playing recklessly on the terrace, which can lead to serious injuries. So never do this. Now next is about safety in the bathrooms. We should always keep our bathroom clean and do not leave soap on the floor. Otherwise, someone can slip on it. And students, bathroom injuries are very fatal. Also, before switching on and off any electrical appliance in the bathroom, make sure your hands are not wet. Otherwise, you can get an electric shock. And the last point is for elder members of the family. That chemical used in cleaning floors, toilets, and basins should be stored outside the reach of children. Now next is kitchen. Kitchen is the riskiest place in the house where most of the mishaps happen because there are sharp objects in the kitchen like knife, scissors, and then there are also hot pans. You must have noticed your mother asking you to be very careful around the hot pans in the kitchen. Also, students, remember that we should not run around in the kitchen because it can cause major accidents like toppling over a hot fried pan. Next, always use sharp objects like scissors and knives with caution. Also, make sure never touch the utensils on the gas stove because they could be really hot and can cause burn. And lastly, if there is a gas leak in the kitchen, make sure to help your parents to open all the doors and windows of your home so that the gas goes out. And also, do not touch any electrical switches, otherwise it can cause fire. So students, this was all about safety at home. Now let's learn about safety in the playground. First of all, always use the gate to enter and exit the playground. Do not ever jump off fences. Like here, this girl is trying to exit the playground by jumping off the fences. This is wrong. We should not do this. Next, make sure that you always hold the chains of the swings tightly. Otherwise, you can fall down. And also, do not go near the swings if someone is using it. You can hurt yourself otherwise. Another point to learn about safety in the playground is that we should always wait for our turn at the rides and we should not push each other. Next point is that never get up suddenly from the seesaw because the kid on the other side can get hurt. And last point is do not go in the swimming pool unattended. It means we should never go alone in the swimming pool and without the supervision of our elders. Always use safety tubes and always follow the coach's instructions. So this was all about safety in the playground. Now let's learn about safety from fire. Students, most fires occur while working in the kitchen or while using electrical gadgets. So in the kitchen, always first turn off the burner and then use kitchen duster to remove pots and pans from it. Otherwise, the kitchen duster can catch fire from the burner. Next, Always tell your elders in case you notice some spark from any of the switch, because such switch can cause fire. So make sure to inform your elders so that it can get fixed as soon as possible. Next point is, if the oil in the pan catches fire in the kitchen, then make sure to switch off the gas burner immediately and then cover the pan to avoid spreading of fire further. And last important point to note here is that we should not wear nylon clothes or other synthetic clothes while working in the kitchen, because such clothes can easily catch the fire. So what type of clothes should we wear? We should always wear cotton clothes while working in the kitchen. So this was all about safety from fire. So now students, we have learned everything about first aid and safety. So this is the end of our video. Make sure you watch my other videos too and share my channel and my videos with your friends and family. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Bye bye.